All right, you guys, what's going on? It's your boy Town. Yeah, I got two more of these streams to do, starting with this one. So, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Try to do this one as quick as possible one day, and I'm gonna do one last one to Stephen A. Smith, basically being disingenuous about Eminem being better than Nas. What a, I mean, come on, Stephen A. Man, is there any level? I mean, come on, is there any level you won't stoop to? Do you have any kind of decency with yourself? I mean, keep in mind, well, we'll talk about that in the next stream. But right now, I just want to say to everybody so far that has purchased tickets to Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, which is allegedly, because that's where we are now, that is going to allegedly take place April the 20th, aka 420 in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. I would really hold back on, plane fare and looking for Airbnbs and hotels around the Brooklyn area, the surrounding Brooklyn area, because it has just gotten to the point to where I understand you trying to sell a fight and then having psychological warfare, but then at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia's parents, his ex, is all came out and said that Ryan Garcia needs prayer, and they're saying that his family wants him to pull out of this fight. Now Ryan Garcia is talking about he's possessed by demons and all. I mean, come on, man, dude. Dude, dude, dude. I want to say something else, but he's not that. Um, if Ryan Garcia pulls out of this fight, if I'm Team Haney, I'm taking legal action against him one way or another, because I told you that they should put in the contract that if Ryan Garcia pulls out of this fight, that he forfeits $1 million, or he has to pay them $1 million, because now that there's a great jeopardy of this fight not happening, Team Haney them is basically probably looking for a replacement opponent in case Ryan Garcia pulls out of this fight. And keep in mind, in the last press conference, they asked him to guarantee he won't pull out of this fight. And keep in mind, Ryan Garcia was the one that asked for this fight both times. He was the one that said, "Hey, I've instructed my team to make the fight with Devin Haney. I want this fight. I, I want the Devin Haney fight." Okay, so they were negotiating basically to stage a fight basically across the water. They was gonna do this, they was gonna do this in Saudi Arabia. That was the original plan. But I guess unfortunately, by Ryan Garcia pulling out of the fight on basically the advice of Floyd Mayweather with his hating ass, basically Ryan Garcia announced that he's pulling out of the fight to go fight Rolly Romero. And then basically a deal couldn't be reached. And then come to find out that it looked like Rolly Romero was never going to fight Ryan Garcia. It just that Floyd wanted to interfere somehow, some way, get himself involved in this fight to have people talking about him one way or another, because Floyd cannot stand it when people are not talking about him. He's just so desperate for attention. And that's just basically the bottom line. What Floyd was trying to do, some way, try to attach himself to this fight, because Floyd got a long history of just being a hater. And that's all it come down to, jealous of everybody. And before you start saying, well, Floyd has a whole bunch of money, at the end of the day, if money is your only argument when it comes to pertaining to anything in general, that shows how mentally weak you are and emotionally unstable, and basically how you have a little man complex. Only short dudes talk about how much money they have and try to say other people broke, and post pictures and do videos of their house and all that kind of stuff, like they the only niggas that got a house. I didn't know that certain people on here were the first black people to ever get a house. You do know there's more than one black owner on YouTube that has a house, so you do know there's more than one black household. owner. But that's what a lot of these silly niggas on here be doing, acting like they've done something that's never been done before. I live in a house. I don't live in no damn apartment. That's why I laugh at cornballs like, Fred and stuff talking about their house. And you can always tell when a nigga ain't never had nothing. What the hell I'm gonna show my house for? Who am I trying to please, myself? Or, what I'm saying, convince myself that I'm a success? Like I said, that just shows you a mental midget. There's a difference between being a critic or being basically, a collector, or stuff like that. But when you resort to stuff like that, you just come on, man. But anyway, oh man. Anyway, all right. Let me get to the story at hand. I just wanted to use that as a side note. I digress a little bit, but anyway, let's just talk about Ryan Garcia. I just want to say to Ryan Garcia, this is real talk. My aunt is a pastor, and then I can introduce you to the pastor of my former church. I've been to church in a while, but if you need him to come over there and do an exorcism and get the demons out of you, as you say is in you, Ryan, let me know. And there's plenty of online preachers you could talk to, um, that could help you, do an exorcism, get the demons out of you. And I'm not trying to take this lightly and make fun of this, but at the same time, Ryan Garcia is just giving people all the ammo to just make fun of him and not take him serious because it's just one thing after another. Once again, Ryan, you were the one that asked for this fight. Not once, but twice. So now, if you pull out of this fight, you want people, pray, Ryan. I mean, Ryan, you once again were the one. If you felt like you wasn't mentally there to basically set up a fight with Devin Haney, you should have just said so. Devin Haney already had a backup plan. They were in negotiation. Listen, when you pulled out of the first fight, I know for a fact they were in negotiation or they was about to begin negotiations to fight Adrian Broner in Atlanta. And then due to the fact that you said, okay, all right, we'll take the fight. We want the fight. Okay, so once again, they decide to put together a fight. Now here you are on the verge of basically reneging and pulling out of the fight, leaving Devin Haney hanging. And at this point, if Ryan Garcia pulls out of this fight, he should be never trusted again. And if Ryan Garcia decides to fight anyone, Ryan Garcia should automatically have a clause in his contract where basically if he pulls out of a fight, he has to pay whoever he's gonna be fighting at least anywhere between 500,000 to $1 million. And that's just the bottom line. Because when did this foolishness ends with Ryan Garcia? He's turned this into a circus. This was supposed to be a fight that we were all getting excited to see. Whether we feel like Devin Haney will be a overwhelming favorite, it still is some intrigue to this fight because of Ryan Garcia's punching power. So it still was going to be a exciting fight, an intriguing fight. But here Ryan Garcia is basically looking for a way to get out of this fight after after a fight that he asked for, that he told his team to make. So once again, I don't have any sympathy for Ryan Garcia. And I don't mean to sound mean, but I'm just saying if he pulls out of this fight, he will been he will have let down his fans, himself, the Haneys, boxing, everybody, his promoters, everybody that's involved in this fight. Because he's not mentally there, according to him. His wife is saying that he's in serious trouble. His parents are asking the feds to pray for him. At the end of the day, I just think Bill Haney and them need to just like I said, automatically have somebody ready to go. And maybe they should pull Ryan out of this fight and go fight somebody else or go fight somewhere else. But you got people that then bought at least 10,000 tickets already. So now they're relying on Ryan Garcia to show up for this fight. So now you have this disbelief and you have this You're proceeding with caution, and then you have this cloud of suspicion on whether you know Ryan Garcia is going to actually make it to fight night. And then it's also to the point to where I think that Ryan Garcia needs to be heavily watched. Ryan Garcia needs to be checked upon entering, if he makes it to the fight, upon entering the building. Make sure he doesn't have a weapon on him. Because Ryan Garcia is talking like he's on the verge of doing something stupid, which I hope he doesn't for everybody's sake, because it'll just give boxing a black eye. But at the end of the day, once again, Ryan Garcia has nobody to blame for this but himself. If he wasn't ready to fight, you shouldn't have tried to make a fight. Like I said before, a lot of people are depending on you. Keep in mind, you just had a child. Your child is dependent on you, you know. But I'm just to the point to where I'm just thinking that Ryan Garcia is going to pull out of this fight any day now. That's how worried I am. Where you got his parents telling people to pray for him and asking him to pull out of this fight. I'm not trying to be selfish or nothing like that, because at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia's safety does come first in his well being. But then once again, Ryan, you are the one that asked for this fight. You are the one that asked for this fight. They gave you this fight. They were negotiating with you for this fight the first time, and you pulled out. And you elected to go fight somebody else. Well, where was your mental health then? Then all of a sudden, you pretty much begged for this fight, and then before you know, pulled out of the fight the first time, which we think is going to be a second time, you left a party and shot talking about tell him to go fight Richardson Hitchens and sell 50,000 pay-per-views, which has already for the most part been proven that Devin Haney did not do no 50,000 pay-per-views versus Regis Prograis. It was cap. It was a flat out fucking lie. Just got to tell the truth, and it's just nerve wracking. But I can tell you who is praying that Tank. I mean, excuse me, that excuse me, somebody knocking at the door. Hold on, hold on. All right, I'm back now. Excuse me. Now, where did I leave off that? Okay, I can tell you who is praying that Ryan Garcia pulls out of this fight. I can tell you that Tank is probably praying, and his fans are praying that he pull out of this fight, because if this fight happens and Devin looks just as impressive as Tank did, or even better, they're going to be demanding that this fight happen, because it'll be a comparison common opponent versus common opponent. But they already have fought a common opponent. They fought a common opponent in Gamboa. Devin iced him just as well as Tank iced him. Now, Tank did get a 12th round knockout, but Devin Haney, he just dominated. So, with that being said, because if Devin Haney goes in there and performs very well and is very dominant of Ryan Garcia, like I said, the walls is going to start closing in on Tank Davis, and people are going to demand that he make this fight. Like I said before, they want to put this sparring footage up, but then once again, if Tank dominated the way they made the tape look, which you clearly see it was edited, well, once again, what's the holdup, bub? What's the holdup? What is the damn holdup to stop this fight from happening? Not a damn thing. So, with that being said, Ryan Garcia needs to go through with this fight. Train, do the best you can. Whatever happens, happens. You never know. It's boxing. Anything can happen. You could land the money shot that put Devin's lights out. You never know. You could be behind on, you could be hot, could be behind on the cards. It could be the 12th round. You're well behind, and you need a knockout. Anything could happen. What if you win? And I'm just saying, what if you win? I guarantee you, you ain't gonna hear nothing about no mental health issues or none of that kind of stuff. And that's why some people believe in like this is just an excuse, and that Ryan Garcia is getting his excuse in place if and when he loses this fight. He's gonna claim mental illness. Keep in mind now, all of a sudden he was talking about Tank weight drained him and all this kind of stuff. And he said he knew he was gonna lose that fight. So does he know that he's gonna lose to Devin Haney? So basically he's preparing himself and getting his excuses in line to where his fans are gonna believe it and say, oh man, I can't give Devin Haney credit for that because Brian wasn't in his right mind." But keep in mind, Brian Garcia has no rehydration clause, none of that stuff. He can come in as big as he wants to, as long as he makes weight. This is a one and done. So if Ryan wins, he doesn't have to fight Devin Haney. So he has some things in his favor. He has some things in his favor. But I'm just not buying what he's selling because it's just getting to the point to where every excuse that Ryan Garcia comes up with to try to justify or give him a reason to pull out of this fight, the more you start to lose respect for him. I'm going to say this once again. Ryan Garcia was the one that asked for this fight. And like I said, if he pulls out of this fight, he will have wasted a lot of people's time and disappointed a lot of different people, from everybody, to the Haneys, to himself, to his fans, and everybody in boxing that was looking and got invested and wanting to attend or pay to watch this fight. So there you have it. But anyway, be back in 20 minutes. Gotta let the phone charge up, but it is what it is.